Mistaking the false for the true and the true for the false, you overlook the heart and fill yourself with desire. Now, by false, Buddha means your mind, your imaginations. Your mind never wants to be there in the present moment. The isness of the present moment that is there, your mind wants to escape it because it finds it very dull. It seeks excitement. It seeks thrill. Hence, it goes into the imaginary world of past and the future. It is always bent upon either pre-living the experience or reliving the experience. That is the very nature of the mind. It is always occupied in the world of psychedelic imaginations. And is there something wrong with the imaginations? That you will have to answer. Is there some great poetry arising in your life because of living in the world of imaginations? Is there any great epiphany occurring in your life because of living in the world of imaginations? Chances are that for a lot of you, it is not happening. In fact, you are suffering in your imaginations. And this is not something that I am creating. It is not a hypothesis. There are so many facts now in the world of evolutionary psychology, in the world of neuroscience. People have found, experts have found that our brain has a built-in negativity bias. It always sticks to the negative experience much more than it sticks to the positive ones. So in a way, our mind is always acting like a surface of Teflon for the positive experience. Any positive experience that happens in our life, we simply let it pass through our consciousness. We never hold on to it for much longer. It is there in our short-term memory, but in the long-term memory, we don't see it as something that would be fruitful for our well-being. But for these negative experience, our mind acts like a surface of Velcro. Slightest of the negative experience remains in our consciousness, remains in our memory. It sticks to us. This is what is called negativity bias. And the thing is that we have to get rid of this negativity bias because it is not serving us anymore. We are no more living in the hostile environment in which our ancestors lived. We are no more hunter and gatherers. We are living in one of the most secure times, one of the most prosperous times. Hence, this negativity bias has to be dropped. It has become very ancient for us. Now, I want you to experience this thing in your life. Do not accept this thing. Try to notice it. Every time you find yourself imagining about something, take a note of it, whether it is something pleasant or unpleasant. You will find out the very existence of negativity bias in your life. By the end of the day, what sticks to you? Beautiful things that happened that day, or just some irritating thing that your boss said, your colleague said, something that happened on the way, some person abused you, or something that was negative in nature. Chances are that only negative sticks to you. Buddha says that you overlook the heart and fill yourself with desire. First of all, what is this heart Buddha is talking about? This heart is the present moment. Heart is synonymous with the present moment. Heart is always beating in the present moment, but your mind is not. Your mind is always in the past or in the future. If it is in the past, it is remembering some pleasant experience of the past. It wants to repeat that experience. Or it is some unpleasant experience that your mind is recalling. It wants to avoid that experience. It wants to avoid that bitter experience to happen again. Or you simply remembered an experience so that it remains fresh in your memory. These three things can happen. The same can happen in the future. You can imagine something pleasant about the future, something unpleasant about the future, or some sort of daydreaming about the future which is neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Now understand this thing. Every time you slip out of this present moment, you create a desire within you. Because in wanting there is a desire, in not wanting there is a desire, in simply slipping out of this moment there is a desire to slip, to escape the dullness of this moment. Hence Buddha says that you fill yourself with desire. See this happening in your life. How many times you are living in your head, imagining things, and how many times you are simply aware, right there in the moment, noticing everything that is there, registering every bit of data that is there, that surrounds you. Then you will understand what Buddha is talking about, and it will become very hurting to your ego that how come I cannot stay in the present moment all the time. But don't be discouraged by that. You have lived like that for a really long time. It will take some time to make some changes in your life. Every time you catch yourself imagining about things, whether it is pleasant, unpleasant, just come back to the present moment and remain with your heartbeats for at least 30 seconds. The point is to come back into the present moment and give it some time. But for the sake of simplicity, as Buddha has used hard to describe the present moment, I want you to practice this thing by coming back into the present moment and giving at least 30 seconds, 60 seconds, noticing the rhythm of your heart, how it is smoothly beating in the present moment. It is not trying to escape this present moment, and your mind is always trying to escape the present moment. Make it a meditation. Do it as many times as you can. It doesn't take a lot, just 30 seconds, just 60 seconds. Make it a practical thing in your life, so that meditation, so that Buddha does not remain something alien to you. It becomes your life. Buddha becomes a living experience, not some sort of a character. Buddha further says that see the false as false and true as true. Look into your heart, follow your nature. Now, Buddha means that in order to get rid of the false, you will have to perceive it as false. So you have to perceive these imaginations of the mind as just imaginations. Don't give them more importance than that. Right now, the problem is that you give them much more importance than they actually deserve. All kinds of things that your mind is interpreting in its unique fashion, you believe every bit of psychological drama that it creates. So you have to perceive that this psychological drama exists in autonomy. You are not creating this psychological drama. By this, I simply mean that you are not the thinker of your thoughts. Perhaps this might sound very paradoxical, but if you will perceive this thing, if you can really perceive this thing, then you will understand what meditation is. All of it, not part of it, all of it. Everything will become clear to you. You will know what meditation is. Hence, Buddha says that see the false as false. How will you see the false as false? By maintaining a distance from the false. Right now, you believe everything that your mind tells you, all kinds of imaginations. You think that you are running the show, this drama where you are creating all sort of decisions. But Buddha asks you to step aside, to simply watch. For too long, you have lived like the director of this psychological drama. Now, for some time, simply observe. Be a spectator, watching silently how these thoughts are arising on their own accord, without any consent, without any prior cause, without any fixed order. It is a total chaos, and you were thinking that you were creating this inner climate. No, you were not. This becomes clear to you. In that very understanding, you get rid of all the troubles that you create for yourself, all the trouble that your mind creates for yourself. Try to see this thing. Notice this thing in your life. Do not simply accept it. One moment there is sunshine, another moment there are dark clouds hovering above your head. So your misery has no fixed order. You are not running the show. You are not managing some sort of inner climate, the climate of emotions, feelings and thoughts. It is happening on its own. And Buddha says, follow your nature. Your nature is not to follow your mind. Your nature is not to believe everything that your mind tells you. Your nature is to witness them. Your nature is to watch them. Hence, Buddha prescribes meditation, watchfulness in your life to transform your inner being. So, two practical things are to be taken from this teaching of Buddha. First, every time you catch yourself thinking about something, simply take a note of it, come back to the present moment, spend at least 30 seconds to 60 seconds being there, watching the beats of your heart. Second is that watch the nature of your thoughts, how they are arising and falling in your consciousness. If you do not give them energy, they simply fade away. without leaving any mark, without leaving any impression in your psyche. To do this, you simply have to spend just 5 minutes every day, wherever you are. The point is to make Buddha a living experience for you. The point is to make meditation a living experience for you. You will get the knack of it. Start small. Start spending just 5 minutes every single day watching the activity of the mind. If you are commuting, you are using a public transport, close your eyes. Simply watch all the thoughts that are arising in your head. If you do not have time, do it anywhere. While commuting, at your work, or even while sleeping, watch how the thoughts are constantly arising in your head. And if you find that too many thoughts are there, then perhaps this is something that you really need badly right now. Start becoming more aware in your life. If your head is silent, then it is fine. Then too you should become aware, because this could also be a delusion. You were in a very pleasant state, not much was happening, not much anxiety was happening, not much challenge was there, hence there was some stillness, and you perceive that you are a very silent person, you are a very meditative person. This could be a delusion. So do it every day, just 5 minutes, and let Buddha enter in your life.